Jeez, that class I feel like it's gonna last forever, said Harper as she was walking out on the school building along with her girlfriend, Ruby. Well, at least it's the last class of the day, though. Yeah, you're right about that. So, do you want to go somewhere or grab something to eat? You know what? I am actually a bit hungry, so yeah, why not? How about we go to the cafe near, you know, close to the campus? Yeah, we can do that. I mean, it's the closest and also a bit the cheapest that we have. Good point. Both Ruby and Harper were actually in their final year of college. They were actually having a good time. And at the cafe, they just ordered some sandwich and sat down by the windows and just small talked about the class and of their upcoming weekend. At least that we don't have any classes tomorrow, said Harper. Yeah, it's it's a pretty good time though for that, said Ruby. At least if we can sleep in for a bit longer, said Harper with a big smile. Even back in high school, you were also known as the sleepyhead, or sleeping beauty. Hey, well, you're not wrong. I mean, I did fall asleep a few times. A few times? It happened quite often, actually. Well, I mean, yeah, I was just so tired in the days. Sometimes I couldn't even get some sleep at night. Well, I mean, all my efforts eventually paid off. I was able to go to college, along with you, said Ruby with a smile. Yeah, by the way, do you have any plans for the weekend? Asked Harper. Nope, I don't have any plans. Do you? No. Do you maybe want to see a movie together this weekend? Yeah, I would love to. Great. So, I will see you then. Yeah, I probably had to go back to my dorm room. I really had to do some of the last homework I have. Ah, don't remind me. But at least we are in our final year of college. Yeah, that's true. So I will see you then on Saturday. Yeah. Then the kids stood up and gave each other a kiss, and they walked back to the college campus to their own different dorm rooms. On her way back to her dorm room, Ruby ran into someone. Oh, hey, Eli. Oh, hi, Ruby. Did you spend some time with Harper? Yeah, I did. So, I assume you're going back to your own dorm room? Yeah, actually. But you? Same. I had some homework to do. Yeah, pretty much the same. But, well, maybe you want to come over? Maybe we can do it together? Sure. I will be over to your place, let's say 15 minutes. I have to do some things first. Sure. About 15 minutes later, Eli did actually show back at her door. So, how is the things between you and Harper so far? Oh, it's going well, actually. I mean, we have been together since our second year of high school. So, since we are about to finish college, are your parents going to show up at the ceremony? Yeah, actually, they are. They're actually happy that I was able to go to college, especially the first choice. What about yours? Well, they are excited, even though back then when my dad once said, "Son, you will never going to be able to go to college. You've been slacking off. You don't even do your homework in time." But thanks to you, Dad, I was able to go to college, he said with a big smile and laugh. Yeah, I remember your dad said that often. He's like said, "You're the most slackiest person in the world." Hey. Well, I mean, you're not wrong. So anyways, do you have any plans for the weekend? Yeah, me and Harper are actually going out for Um, for movies? Oh, that's great. I mean, you've been together for so long, though. Yeah, I mean, I cannot even really imagine that we were just friends back in the first year of high school and start dating in our second year, and that's still been going on. Yeah, I mean, I was really impressed. Also, should a bit surprised that you told me that Harper asked you out, even though I had no idea that you even liked her the same way. Yeah, same here. I mean, I know of her back then. She was a bit shy, but it took her some time to get outgoing. Soon, they were able to finish their homeworks, and the next day, Ruby and Harper actually went to their date, and they were so happy to be able to go on a date. Since there have been a lot of studies and a lot of exams lately, so they haven't even been able to go on any particular big dates. They usually have gone during the first year of college, they were able to go out a bit often, but now they have just been taking care of some small things, like maybe just going to a restaurant maybe once in a month or so. But they were trying their best effort to put on their studies and exams because they really want to finish college with the good grades and all. And shortly enough, the time for the final day for the college, both were so happy to be able to have finished off college. Ah, that was the last of all the college. Now it's just a, and then we will be able to go out in the world as working adults, said Harper. Unless you had to repeat 1 year, said Ruby. Hey, don't say that. Do you really want me to repeat 1 year while you are going out in the world? Do you? No. So don't joke about that then. Sorry, Harper. I just wanted to joke around. I know, but. And then the big day came. The ceremony went on and perfectly well. Ruby was excited to see both her parents actually showed up. Even Harper was really happy to see her family as well. And even after ceremony, Ruby gave both her parents a big hug. Her mom said, "Sweetie, we are so proud of you." "Thanks, Mom." "So, are you going back home before you're going out in the world again? Start working?" Uh, yeah, actually, I am. "Well, we will see you back home then." Yeah. It turned out that since Harper and Ruby and Eli were actually in different state to go to college. This was one of the best college in that particular state though. Shortly after that they had returned home, Harper and Ruby had often met up from time to time when they as much as they could. They talked often about their next step in the future to start moving in together, living together, and start working. They were actually planning to work at one particular IT company called Future X Incorporated. It was actually Harper's dad's business. He was the CEO and the founder of the company. Since both Ruby and Harper had been studying some business as a major at the college, because Harper had one day hoped to be able to take over the company from her dad when he retires. But their plans for the future was almost ruined. Because one day when Ruby, she was actually in the living room just watching some TV when her mom told her that they are going to have some guests over for dinner. She was curious. Who? And it was apparently an old colleague, or at least a colleague to her dad and his son, Daniel. Daniel was about just 1 year older than herself. She had met Daniel from time to time as well, and even though they weren't like friends, they were more like acquaintances. She was actually didn't mind to meet them. So that evening when they came over, it was just a normal dinner, she thought. But to her, most shocking when Daniel's dad admitted something that she had not even been complete aware of. So, Ruby, how do you feel about marrying my son? But, whoa, whoa, whoa. What do you mean, marrying your son? Said Ruby, shocked. Wait, your parents haven't even told you? Oh, sorry. Things have been a lot busy for my mind, so that must have slipped. So, but yeah, Ruby, you and Daniel actually are, uh, engaged. Well, we are actually arranged so you two will be married. But Ruby had no idea what they were even talking about. For the fact is that Ruby had already been proposed. Harper proposed to Ruby during the second year of college, and she said yes, but they had made a promise to wait after finished college and also wait until they had a stable income for that. But she hadn't even told her family about her engagement or even her relationship with Harper. But it was probably for the best now to come clean about it. Um, I would have been, uh, I don't know. Daniel, what did you feel about it? Oh, I'm actually happy about it. I mean, actually, I'm looking forward to it though. Um, so did since when did this engagement happen? If I ask. Oh, we arranged that when you were in your senior year of high school. Actually, we were hoping to have it finished off after you finished college," said her dad. Um, there might be a problem with that. Oh, what's that? Um, I'm already engaged. Say what? Said her dad, shocked. Wait, who? And since when? Um, since my second year of college. And who are you engaged with? Have you met this guy? The man? The young man? Um, wait, is it Eli? Your friend? No, not Eli. He's more like a brother to me. But it's Harper. Then her mom was holding in her in her in her fork, suddenly dropped it. Wait, are you saying you're engaged to a girl? Yeah, Mom. Is there something wrong with that? I cannot believe it, said her dad almost angrily. Ruby, tell me, this is a joke. No, Dad. Me and Harper are in fact engaged, and we have planned for to get married soon anyways. So I'm sorry, but my engagement with Daniel is not happening. Even Daniel's dad looked shocked and almost angry. You will marry my son. We have already had arranged that. I'm sorry, but that's not happening. But before the others can even say anything, Ruby stood up and left the table and went to her room, packed some things, since luckily though she didn't have much of her own stuff there anymore. But, and then she ran down the stairs and said, before leaving the house, Mom, Dad, I won't be back until you have it calmed down and have this old mess taken care of. I don't want even to have nothing to do with it otherwise. Before they could even say anything, she just left the house, ran down the street, called for Eli to pick her up. Since he lived only a few blocks away, he immediately drove and picked her up and took her to Harper's house. Harper was on the way there, had been called to, informed what happened, and her parents were so upset that they couldn't even believe that Ruby was in the situation that she had been in an arranged marriage of some kind. But they welcomed her over to Harper's house with open arms, and Harper decided it was maybe time for them to move and find their own place, but outside of town perhaps. Harper's parents had no problem with it. They decided it was maybe best for them to move to a different state, where, or maybe just somewhere else. But Ruby didn't want to leave. She was firm to stay in her hometown, even if she had been harassed or something by her own parents. So they decided to stay at Harper's place. Since her family lived in this small style mansion, so at least that was not a problem. So for the next several days, Ruby didn't even hear a single word from her parents. So Eli, went over to see them. They at first didn't want to even talk to her. It turned out after all this happened, Daniel's dad had called off this entire engagement, which he was happy about, but he wasn't happy. And her parents were so upset. They couldn't even believe that she had done this to them. So she just bluntly said, well, maybe it was for the best. Had you ever thought about what I wanted? You assumed that I would be happy to marry Daniel. I wasn't even close to him in the first place. Even if I would have married him, I would have at least known him for at least a while before even just jump into marriage. You assumed I would just simply jump into marriage with someone that I barely even know? You had all the time to get to know him, even after you get married. Oh, that's just so low for even you, Dad. How dare you? Calm down, said Eli. You an outsider, you have nothing to do with this. Said Ruby's dad with a booming voice. I'm just trying to make this not things even worse it is. But then Ruby said and stood up. Eli, don't even bother. These two will never even want to listen. So, I'm finally done here and let's go. And before I leave, you two are no longer my parents. So never even try to reach out to me. You are no my family anymore. Then they left. They could hear both her mom and her dad screaming from the inside, but Ruby didn't care. She went back to Harper's house. Eventually, a couple of months later, they had their own place. Then even got married only by 2 months later. They decided to have a small wedding. Harper looked so happy when she looked into her blonde angel to wife. They were just happy. And even after just 2 years of being married, they wanted to start a family. Of course, Eli, who has always been there for them, he helped them with that. He decided to be helping with them. So Harper decided to be pregnant first. And she later had a son, which they named Cameron. 3 years later, Ruby had a daughter, which she named Cindy. From that day on, Ruby hasn't even talked to her parents. In fact, they never even reached out to her, not once, since she was still living in her hometown. She's still seeing her family, or at least her former parents, from time to time, but when she sees them, she just turns around and continue walking away from them. They have seen her with both Cameron and Cindy, but she doesn't want to let them to see them. She was hoping that they will change their mind with seeing that she has now 2 kids. But it didn't happen. So she's still happy to be with Harper and have a family with her. So this is how Ruby and Harper found a true love, got a big family together. The end.